I would have preferred him say Sue. I would have sued out of him. Something like that. Like I was. Ron said I had enough of this shit, man. Y'all keep talking about my son and me.
Yeah, but he caused that though, bro.
Yeah,
with the tweet
Nick don't like to talk about it. Cause Nick
is
with it. Nick said, I can't cheer for my son. I can't want to have my son to be my son.
I think it's one.
He not understanding. Right? We saying he brought our attention to it because we wasn't looking at him like that. To be like that.
I think it was really one of them things where Brian kind of made up in his mind, like when I see dude, I'm gonna say something. I don't think it was calculated. I don't think he had somebody planted in the stands to pull the camera out at a certain time at the end of the third quarter. I don't think it was that. I think he just seen him and he went over there and said what he said.
LeBron is calculated though, so it's not out the realm of possibilities that he could have been like, you know what, Stephen A. gonna be at the game. Everybody at the Lakers know who's going to be in attendance. He just signed that huge contract, so why not make a scene? Gil's Arena reacts to Stephen A. Smith saying he would have swung on LeBron James. Check out what they had to say, and then I'll come back with my comments.
I think we got a video of Stephen A.'s response of throwing hands.
Squabbles.
Can we cue up the throwing hands, LeBron, man?
You see, when he approached me while I was sitting courtside at that game against the New York Knicks, when he rolled up on me, I didn't know he was going to roll up on me. I had no idea.
About to crash out.
But when he said what he had to say, I was in no position to give any kind of retort without making a scene. It was during the third quarter. It was fresh out of a timeout. It was him walking to the basketball court. It was on national television. The cameras were rolling. And had I done something, what do y'all want me to do? You want me to act? You want this to be a reincarnation of Chris Rock and Will Smith?
Yeah, might as
and
well.
let me state for the record that while we bring up that, let me assure you, it wouldn't have gone down like that. I would have gotten my ass kicked. Because had that man put his hands on me, I would have immediately swung on him. Immediately.
Nah.
That I'm not going to tolerate.
Yeah, maybe you would have put hands on LeBron, but if you were going to get beat up, I don't know if there would have been room for you to really fight back. So Stephen A. Smith, he's standing on business. He want people to respect his squabble game, his fight game. But if LeBron wanted to, he could destroy Stephen A. Smith. But it is what it is.
Y'all
Come on,
y'all buying it.
Boy, if you don't knock it out,
man, come on, man.
Come on, man. Hey,
He
he
said
gonna beat the dog shit out of Stephen A. Smith, man.
Right? I would have preferred him say Sue. I would have sued out of him. Something like that. Like I was.
That's what I'm saying, man. If you're Stephen A., all that gangster stuff is cool. Yeah, man, you want to fight back, but I'm talking 7-figure plus lawsuits if LeBron swings at me or anybody in that tax bracket. So Stephen, I know you're doing damage control right now. I know the internet got you looking a certain way, bringing up old boxing footage, but if LeBron James were to hit you, you call your lawyer immediately and sue him.
Just sue the like it would have been funnier. Like we would have related better. He said swing back home, man.
Still in it.
Yeah, because he was
Crazy, bro. I can't.
Meanwhile, I'm not surprised it got to that point, man. You got to figure the man got his son involved, you know what I'm saying? Everybody passionate about their family. They gonna stand up for their family. But if I'm looking at Brian, bro, I'd have just went and hollered at him. You know what I'm saying? On the political side.
When you know you can at any point.
Yeah, I mean, because look how he did it. Yeah. Brian went on the Pete McAfee show, bro. If you want to make this about it being in the media, go and have that debate with him.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
like Jaylen Brown did.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, if I was LeBron, I would have pulled him aside. I guess he felt as though you brought me up publicly, you bringing my son up publicly and trying to allude to me being a quote-unquote bad parent or however LeBron seen it. Maybe he decided to do it that way, but it was a calculated move by LeBron. He knew the cameras was going to be watching him. He decided to talk to him after the third quarter. So, yeah, perfect move by LeBron. Spin the narrative, make it look like Stephen A. Smith was trashing him. And he had, every right to crash out, at least from the masses. Like, they're looking at it like I would have done the same thing. And right now, look like LeBron James, he's winning the beef. Stephen A's looking real emotional out there, crashing out on every platform. I don't have a problem with what he said about LeBron initially, but just the stuff after the fact. Stephen A, he isn't moving good. He got to calm it down, dial it back, and really go at LeBron if you want to continue to beef with him.
Man, let's sit down and talk about this, man. You know what I'm saying? I think it was kind of subliminal you know what I'm saying, what he did, but Bron probably said, when I see this on site. Yeah. That was probably the first time Bron seen him.
Nah, they done.
Probably seen him.
He can see him. Look, he can go see him anytime. He can go see him. It's in L.A. The thing is,
I ain't moving around to go see him.
If I want to.
Bron, like, when I see him, I'm a holler at him. But he ain't the only one talking about his son, though. There's a whole lot of reporters that seen that he ain't ran up on.
Stephen A. He the most critical about his son.
Yeah, if LeBron want to run up on people, there's a lot of people in the media that's been talking sideways about Bronny. Stephen A. been walking on eggshells, been very respectful when it comes to Bronny, even though everybody may be talking about him in a negative way. Stephen A. is usually the first person to be like, I believe in him. He's going to be an NBA player, but he's not ready. And the way that LeBron got him looking out there, that's why he said, as a father, I would have done this, or you should do this. But again, the media spun it a certain way. LeBron spun it a certain way. And Stephen A. looking like the bad guy right now.
I mean,
that's Bron. Like when I see this, I'm a holler at him.
As a father, you doing wrong. That's when you say shit like that. That's crazy. As a father, you should be ashamed of yourself.
I think what Zebo said is how I feel. I think, especially as a parent, I'm a newfound father. So I know the love I got for my kid. My kid been out there playing baseball, and the coaches be saying, like, he doesn't run. I'd be like, shut up. You know what I'm saying? So I know that feeling. But I think it was really one of them things where Brian kind of made up in his mind, like, when I see dude, I'm gonna say something. I don't think it was calculated. I don't think he had somebody planted in the stands to pull the camera out at a certain time at the end of the third quarter. I don't think it was that. I think he just seen him, and he went over there and said what he said.
LeBron is calculated, though, so it's not out the realm of possibilities that he could have been like, you know what? Stephen A. gonna be at the game. Everybody at the Lakers know who's going to be in attendance. So why wouldn't LeBron know? Especially if Stephen A. Smith is going to be there. I'm sure the promotional team representatives, they brought it up to LeBron like, yo, Stephen A. Smith, he's supposed to be attending this game this week or today with his team, his people there, and he just signed that huge contract. So why not make a scene? We're at the height of the beef right now. You said what you had to say. Now I'm going to see you in public. But if LeBron James didn't want this, the criticism and just people bringing up his son, well, you got him in the league and this is what you got to deal with. This is the after effect. Yeah, it was a great story, but people are going to be talking about you. They're going to be talking about Bronny. So if you can't handle it, don't be mad at Stephen A. Smith. Be mad at everybody in the media.
Hey, yo, but don't y'all say that? Hey, yo, but I like how Bron and Stephen A. Smith got their going. Like at least Bron coming to the, like, he doing
cool.
Like, you know, like, I mean, he not going at players.
Yeah.
He's just going at media. So to me, it's like it works for Stephen A. and it works for, like, you know, just the fact that we don't hear from Bron. Yeah. So the fact that we was able to hear Bron for like an hour is kind of like, damn, like that was, you know.
Like, because you don't see other people like consider GOATs doing that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, this is the first time we seen LeBron welcome all the smoke, address it in this capacity. I haven't seen every LeBron James interview, but I don't think he got this candid. Throwing shots at Windhorst, throwing shots at Stephen A., even throwing shots outside the interview, reposting old boxing videos. So LeBron, he want all the smoke. And again, you can tell that LeBron's going to retire soon. About a year or two left. Why not air out the media? They won't have to cover you anymore. Yeah, they'll still have Bronny to potentially attack, but I think LeBron is more thinking about, you know, if I'm not in the league anymore, they'll be cool. They won't be too extra with Bronny, and he won't have to take these unnecessary shots anymore. So get used to LeBron James going off on the media.
You want to see MJ do that, Kobe do that.
I think that's the dope part about LeBron.
Yeah.
Like, somebody like myself, like, I was introduced to the world because of LeBron. Like, he reposted my freestyle. I think that's the dope thing about the big name guys of today. Like, they able to kind of say something out loud versus back in the day you'd be like criticized for that or be labeled an asshole. So I think it's dope that he posted the Young Dolph. You know what I mean? The meme with the Stephen A. And I think it's dope that Stephen A. said something back this morning.
A lot of niggas want to do what Bron did to Stephen A. Smith. Want to check this shit out.
Well, a lot of people have. I mean, everybody get the chance to.
They do.
Yeah.
Everybody get the chance to.
Yeah, as far as LeBron James, you know, being that voice, that's good. But when other people want to have a voice as well, you shouldn't be hesitant or feel as though you may be facing backlash with Clutch Sports, Rich Paul being blackballed just because you got a difference of opinion than everybody. So it's good that LeBron, he's voicing his opinion, shouting people out, but people going to be talking about Bronny. So LeBron, you got to get out your feelings, continue to ignore people like you've been doing, yeah, it's a different dynamic having your son in the league, but you can't be like on some one to silence people, or at least the perception that he may be trying to silence people if you decide to talk about Bronny or him. So it's levels to it.
They should have.
I don't think everybody got the voice that Brian got.
Power, see, Stephen A.
No, but Stephen A. said he'll pull up on you. So,
but are we having the same energy for everybody?
They said pull up on me. You got that. He opened that platform. Yeah. That's why I honored it about it. But it's very entertaining, man. But I honestly thought Brown was bigger than all that. I thought he wouldn't even. I thought he was gonna take that approach.
Ron said I had enough of this shit, man. Y'all keep talking about my son and me.
Yeah,
but he caused that though, bro.
Yeah,
with the tweet
Nick don't like to talk about it because Nick is with it. Nick said, "I can't cheer for my son. I can't want to have my son to be my son."
I think it's one thing.
He not understanding. We saying he brought our attention to it because we wasn't looking at him like that. Like that.
I don't think Bron had a problem with Stephen A. criticizing Bronny. I think the problem was him criticizing him as a father, involving him into the league. And it's like, bro, at the end of the day, it's people out here that's doing nothing for their kids, and I set mine up for success. So don't
I like that. I like that.
Criticize me that way. Don't criticize me that way because I did my job as a father, and you on national television acting like I didn't. I think that was his point more than anything.
Taken out of context.
I can understand it from that point of view.
Again, it's just taken out of context. You can't say anything about LeBron, can't say anything about Bronny. That's LeBron's father. So when you're in the midst of a conversation, a debate, yeah, you're going to be like, as a father, but for people to be like Stephen A. Smith meant it in that way, I ain't rocking with that. I've had my differences or, opinions I don't agree with Stephen A. Smith, but just for this specific argument of him saying as a father, I don't think Stephen A. Smith meant it in that way. And if LeBron took it that way, he can feel that way if he wants to, but I just think he used Bronny in a way to go at Stephen A. Smith. He wanted to say stuff about Stephen A. Smith for years now, and having the issue with Bronny James, bringing his name up, perfect opportunity for LeBron to crash out. So it is what it is, but we'll see what happens moving forward with Stephen A. Smith versus LeBron James.